So happy to be with you for a Bliss Talk. I am Krista, bringing you some Bliss Mystic vibe. I am here to share with you some perspective that I love to offer from my practice. I am grateful to see clients for over 2 decades now using an approach that I call consciousness design. This idea of aligning the 4 dimensions of our human experience, our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our energy, that which is the numinous, the mystery, but also the physics, the human physics. And our time together today is so incredibly timely. And I say that with a wide open heart. Really centering bliss in our consciousness design is never bypassing, and it is the most challenging time I will offer in over 20 years to be talking about the concept of bliss or of pleasure and centering your yes energy, because in sessions day in and day out, which I love every single second of, hey everybody, I will share that it is incredibly challenging right now to center ourselves for powerful action. What I offer is we have incredibly potent hearts, and having powerful presence in a time of transformation, of chaos, of things feeling like they are deconstructing in order to be reconstructed. It's tough. I hear you. I feel you. I am here with you. I also live this human life, and I would love to offer some perspectives that allow us to really truly live and breathe into our most potent hearts. Hi, watching. I'm so grateful you are here. And everyone who is watching, my invitation to you is to recognize you do, in fact, have an incredibly potent heart, that your emotion is energy. Whether you are feeling something that feels really challenging to feel, rage, frustration, angst, anger, despair, all of those emotional states have an incredibly powerful energy. And what I offer from a perspective of consciousness design is that it can all be useful. It's incredibly utilitarian to recognize that our emotion is energy. So what can we do with that energy? First and foremost, there's an invitation to recognize it in its raw and very real state, meaning you get to tend to yourself. You flow inward in order to be present and flow outward. And so that may mean, and I'm going to use a word here that has an interesting connotation in our culture, you may need to be selfish, meaning holding energy for your capital S centered self, the self that is here to move energy in inspired action and create impact. And the invitation then is to tend to self and to recognize that when you flow inward, you can flow outward with more power. And so that means we're not bypassing. That means we're not just love and light and positive affirmations. Yes, that, and also a recognition of the realities of some of our siblings and relations around the world. I'm getting really just deep into it right here with you right now, that the privilege that we have, whoever you are, wherever you are on the planet, in your ever present now, is power, is energy. Your emotion is real, it's raw. What do you want to choose to do with it? First and foremost, tending to self, and then recognize I may have some emotional resource. I may have some bandwidth here to take my inspired action and have impact in the world. So we're transmuting. We're not bypassing. We're not just bright-siding everything. We're truly acknowledging. We're also acknowledging the power that we do have. what I would love to offer from this perspective, our hearts are indeed potent. This energy is potent. And from a systemic perspective, we are actually brainwashed or coerced out of the recognition that we have power right now. And that goes for wherever you are on the planet. If you recognize that you have any level of privilege, you can turn your face, turn your potent heart toward inspired action. And only when you can do it from a pure heart, when you feel resourced, when you feel like you can flow outward without compromising self, your health, your family's health, your financial well-being, you can do all of those pieces of the puzzle to the extent that you decide in your sovereignty. And so one aspect of consciousness design is what I call the sovereignty imperative, which is a recognition not only of our levels of privilege, but our recognition that we get to make decisions to the extent that we can into inspired action. We get to decide what that looks like. Not a government system, not a single person in our life. And only you know, as you are the expert in your life, only you know to the extent you can transmute energy into inspired action. My invitation to you is to recognize that the external, what is happening in our very, very powerfully transforming world right now is real. And so we're not here to self-gaslight. We're not here to feel guilt or shame that we should be doing more. Honor yourself with a pure heart. Recognize what you can offer. Be honest about what you aren't able to offer right now. And let that be true and real and enough. Let it be enough from moment to moment, day to day. Also, another piece of this puzzle is letting our potent hearts live in a way that invites connection right now. To recognize that there are systems in place, colonial, capitalist, patriarchal systems that know we are less powerful when we are separate, when we feel isolated. My invitation to you is to recognize where you can feel connected, where you can show up in your community for community care, mutual aid. We can move energy in such a way that is incredibly potent, but doesn't diminish us, doesn't put us into deficit. And if you are feeling in deficit, being honest with that, asking for help, asking for assistance, recognizing there's incredible power in connection. There's incredible power in all of us tapping into one another. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Come volunteer with me. I'm giving my money here. I'm feeling really sad, really diminished, really powerless. Will you witness me? All of those are potent, powerful actions when it comes to consciousness design. Consciousness design is ultimately an awareness that we are here to live in our yes energy, to say yes to our yes, to honor that our yes is unique to us. And so your yes is going to be different from my yes. Your capacity is going to be different from my capacity. And there's no reason to feel shame or self-judgment or guilt about any of that. When we are moving and flowing energy with a pure heart, we are incredibly potent. The smallest connection can feel small to us. It can feel massive to someone else. It's the miracle of human physics. Leverage, if you will. And my invitation to you is to recognize, where do you feel most powerful? How do you feel most powerful? Some of that may be rejecting the systemic messaging. Some of it may be marching. Some of it may be contributing to a food drive or starting a food drive right now. Some of it may be sitting in prayer or devotion or stillness, holding love and trust in your heart. Reminding someone of that out in the world who may need to hear that right at that moment. Every choice you make shapes the world. Every choice you make shapes the world. We are all energy. We are all part of the system. And I mean the energetic human physics system. All of us matter. All of our actions make an impact, whether we know it or not. That's part of this infinite equation that is the human experience. And so my invitation to you is to recognize where you do need to get resourced. Be radically honest. Take a break from scrolling. Take a break from even your volunteer work. Take a financial break from donating if you feel you need to keep those resources within, and move energy differently. Be real with yourself in that way. And that becomes a powerful presence when we're centered in that, when we're making choices according to our capacity, when we're making choices according to our privilege, and really honestly invoking that in the way that moves our energy with inspired action, rather than creating resistance or dissonance about feeling guilt about what we can or can't do. That diminishes the power. So your powerful presence comes from that radical honesty. Your powerful presence comes from tending to self and those around you, being honest in connection. And my invitation to you is to recognize where you're doing a fantastic job of this. Even if it's just in one spot, that is okay. That is okay. Allow that right now to be enough. Recognize that every choice you make shapes the world, and that includes you nurturing and fortifying self when you need to, and making incredibly inspired action out in the world. It all has impact. I want to offer to all of you one of the deep honors and privileges of what I get to do in this world, me following my yes energy, is to be in intimate and connecting space. I call it, getting invited behind the curtain of clients' lives. And it never stops surprising me how we all have these moments of feeling like we're not enough, like we are not powerful. And my invitation to you is to remember to do the one thing, make one choice that reminds you that you changed the world. You chose to tune in here and listen. You chose to give a ride to a friend's child to school today. You chose to go to work. You chose to sleep in and take care of yourself because you were starting to feel like you had a cold. All of it can be a reflection of your potent heart and allow for an incredibly powerful presence. And when we don't feel powerful, that's something that we all share, are those moments. So invite yourself into the remembrance that you are doing enough, that you are making change, and always lead with love. That would be my last invitation as I wrap up this Bliss Talk. When we center our bliss, our pleasure, our yes energy, we're leading with creation. We're leading with life-affirming energy. We're leading with love. And that is an undeniable, irresistible force. We've seen it. The consciousness raising over time. Yes, there are tough times without question throughout our history, throughout our human experience. In fact, some might say that a fundamental part of our humanness is that suffering. Sure. I will agree that that is a fundamental part of our humanness. It's also a fundamental part of our humanness that we are potent, that we are powerful, that every choice we make shapes the world. That's not just in the middle of a greeting card to make you feel better. It's true. It is real. So my invitation to you is to notice even the small choices, even the micro choices, when they are moving with love, when they are constructive, when they are creative, including tending to self in stillness. All of it makes a difference for the collective. All of it. I would also invite you into connection. Reach out to people in your life. Bring that radical honesty. Bring that vulnerability. And find power in connection. Join your potent heart with another potent heart. And I am always here. I am always here for you to reach out. Consciousness design is not just an approach. It is a devotion. It's a human path to enlightenment and is a paradigm for these very transformational times. So my invitation to you is to be with that, sit with that, allow it to be true in your life. Recognize your potent heart. Be aware of your powerful presence and how you can augment that. And be gentle with yourself when you are sitting in stillness, honoring the collective by bringing yourself to center and knowing that you want to lead with love and offer your very, very best to the world. Thank you for being here with me in this ever-present now. Again, I'm Krista. You can find me at the Bliss Mystic Collective. You can reach out anytime. I honor that connection. I am so grateful as well to every single one of my clients for sharing your depth of heart, of your potent hearts. It's an honor. It is a true privilege. And I believe in the miracle of this connection through socials and otherwise. And so know I'm here on the other side if you do reach out to connect. And my invitation to you is to breathe into that potent heart that you have any chance you get. So with that, I wish you flow, ease, pleasure, lots of yes energy, and big love. Rock on.